Hello and welcome to Fight News Now Extra. I am your host, John Ramdeen, and shortly Robin Black will pop by to discuss some of the biggest stories in mixed martial arts. In the news today, UFC 186 gets a new co-main event, Top Brazil gets a new coach, and the Spider passes his second pre-fight drug test. UFC 186, which is scheduled for April 25th at Montreal's Bell Center, will now feature the 125-pound championship, as Demetrius Johnson will square off with 15-1 Japanese fighter Kyoji Horiguchi. The event was set to showcase a welterweight showdown between former Bellator champion Hector Lombard and TriStar's Rory MacDonald, but the bout has been removed from the card. In addition, fans will be treated to the bantamweight title rematch between TJ Dillashaw and Renan Barão. Former middleweight champion Anderson Silva has been pulled as the coach of the current season of Top Brazil following his failed drug test. UFC officials have announced that due to a request by the Nevada State Athletic Commission that the Brazilian ceases participation in the reality show. In for the Black House fighter is Silva's friend and mentor Minotauro Nogueira. On a related note, Anderson Silva did pass his second out-of-competition drug test, which was administered by the NSAC on January 19th, approximately 2 weeks before UFC 183. The second test was negative for any PEDs. And don't forget to tune in to Fight Network's preview show leading up to Fight Night, Henderson versus Thatch. Myself, Robin Black, and John Pollock break down all the action that will go down in Broomfield, Colorado. And then at 8 p.m., you will catch the prelims right here on Fight Network. Former Bellator champion Zach Makovsky takes on Tim Elliott, as well as Team Takedown representative Chaz Skelly and Nick Lentz also in the main event. And then make the switch over to TSN at 10 p.m., where you can catch all the main card action, including the main event between former lightweight champion Benson Henderson and the rising star Brandon Thatch. Welcome to the FN Studios. I'm joined by Mr. Robin Black, Rory MacDonald, Hector Lombard. Not happening in Montreal, but for real fight fans, it's a great replacement fight. You get to see one of the best pound-for-pound fighters and possibly the best martial artists in all of mixed martial arts, taking on this 23-year-old Japanese guy. He's gone on a run, looked impressive. Is he the number one guy at kind of the number two guy at 125 pounds? Who knows? But right now, the division's kind of sorting itself out.
You know, often we'll discuss Demetrius Johnson, and I will just pretend I don't know that people mumble about whether or not he's good or he should be watched or anybody.
Because people say that.
People do say that, and sometimes we chat about it, and we just stick with the information that matters to us. This is one of the best fighters in the world. This guy's skills are so unbelievable. The way he physically expresses himself is magical, and it's must watch. But then we can pretend that it's not true, that some people, don't say, oh, the 125ers, I mean, who should watch, they can't crack an egg, all this kind of stuff. But they do say that. So we have to ask ourselves why they say that and what we can do about it. And I know that up here in Canada and here at Fight Network, and there are tons of other outlets, we're trying to do something about it. We're trying to show people that although it is a beautiful thing if you love watching guys just get cracked in the head and knocked out, and if you like the hype and if you like Twitter beefs and all that, but that there is something special about the sport. There is something special about martial arts, about movement, about unwilling dance partners, about all of that. That's what we're trying to do. And I hope that people watch this guy because he's one of the best fighters in human history.
And one of the reasons why he's one of the best fighters is because you get to see everything he's capable of inside of the cage. Every time he steps in there, we're seeing a new addition to his game. As you mentioned, his movement, his transitions, his scrambles, his pacing, his creativity. But on that same card in Montreal, you're going to have Quinton Rampage Jackson versus Fabio Maldonado. And anybody that's watched mixed martial arts for any length of time, this is not Slampage. Back in the days of Pride, where he's picking guys up and slamming them unconscious, that no longer exists. Now we see at Rampage, it's all boxing centric. The goal is, okay, if you're going to hurt my legs, that's fine. I'm just going to try to punch your lights out. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to try to stop the takedowns. And if you take me down, I'm going to do my best to get up and try to knock you out and that's what the majority of people, the casual fans, they want to see.
Yes, and I love it when they put this kind of card together because it does speak to everybody. And don't get me wrong, man. If you like seeing guys get in there and slug each other out, I don't care why you watch the sport. If you love it, you're my family. You're a brother, you're a sister. I'm all for it, man. This is the best sport in the world. And if you like seeing Rampage stand toe-to-toe with somebody, Fabio Maldonado is going to happily do that for you. And we got Michael Bisping. And in Canada, you know, I know our American friends may not get this, but we love Michael Bisping.
Yeah.
My mother is British. You know what I mean? Like, our families are from there. We understand British people. We understand it. And Bisping is one of these truly clean fighters who has fought the best guys in the world, always shows up to go for it. That time we bumped into him at the airport after he had a fight. Who was he?
Tim Kennedy.
Tim Kennedy. And Kennedy kind of slowed it down and had a very smart game plan that I appreciated. But we were like, Michael, thank you for all the great fights. And he had black eyes standing there, and he was so appreciative, but all he wanted to tell us was, it's not my fault it was boring, man. It's not my fault. Like, I came to fight. So we got a great card. We'll miss Rory. The Canadians will miss Rory, but we have a great card in Montreal.
And when you talk about Rory, I mean, right now with George St. Pierre out of the mixed martial arts picture, this is the big guy from Canada. People that are going to go to the Bell Centre, one of the reasons why they bought tickets was to see Rory MacDonald perform, because a lot of people believe that this is the next guy that will claim that 170-pound title. And you and I have had this discussion in the past that we think that the welterweight title is going to change hands possibly a number of times over the next number of years. Robbie Lawler, Johnny Hendricks. I wouldn't be surprised if Johnny Hendricks won the title back from Robbie Lawler, and then Rory won the title from Johnny Hendricks, and then Robbie Lawler won it from
young
Rory.
Guys coming up that are badasses.
Thatch
is going to look good this weekend.
Who knows? Then Ben Henderson might be the next welterweight champion.
For sure. And the reason that Rory is such a good sort of leader in Canada is because he does have all that stuff. If you're a nerd and you like, you know, the beauty of fighting, game planning, strategy, the ability to implement brilliant skills, Rory has that. Rory will also say he likes to hurt and be hurt. He likes to hit and be hit. And that's a weird thing. And it gives you, you know, he may go in there with a game plan, but if he feels he can crush you right now, he'll go in and do that. So he has all of those elements. We jokingly refer to his image as a Canadian psycho, but he's actually a very brilliant guy and a very brilliant fighter. And it's unfortunate we don't get to see him fight because he's right at the top of that 170-pound thing. That championship fight is in his destiny.
What's cool about 170 pounds right now, you talk about Rory being at the top of the heap, but that bottom end of 170 pounds really developing nicely. You see Thiago Alves winning. We know Jordan Mean is going to be a force. Brandon Thatch, as you mentioned.
Stephen Thompson's
Stephen Thompson, Gunnar Nelson. Guys, things are looking really good at 170 pounds. Carlos Condit comes back in May. A plethora of fights for the UFC at 170 pounds. Don't go anywhere. More Fight News Now Extra is coming at you. I'm choked up.